Welcome to another episode of the Almost Tipsy Vegan. Today we're going to be making some cashew tofu. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out, maybe make a little history. We had some friends over a few weeks ago and we served them this dish and they said afterwards, well, where's the chicken? And they did not know they were eating tofu, and they thought it was delicious, the best meal. They said, please invite them over again, and we are. But anyway, we're going to show you how to make our vegan chicken. We're making it out of tofu, and what we've done is I've already crumbled up part of it to save a little bit of time. But again, y'all know this. We like to freeze our tofu, let it defrost, freeze it, and defrost. And then you see we take it out, and the water just squeezes out. I don't know if you see this or not. It just squeezes out, and there's no need for the presses, messing up towels, those kind of things. Okay, now what we do also is we just tear it in hunks like this. There's nothing scientific about it, but I do want to show you something. Y'all see the texture of this? We don't cut it, we tear it because all those little nooks and crannies catch all the sauce and makes it a little tastier, I think. It has more flavor. So, we like a lot of flavor on this show. So we're just tearing this up like this, and it didn't take long to do it, just real quick. And there we go, done. Okay, we're going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce. We may add more depending on how it looks, but this is 2 tablespoons in here, but we're going to add just about half of that. And then we're going to add what says a quarter of a cup. We'll stir it around first. Stir it around. Get all the flavor mixed together. And by stirring it around, these bigger hunks, they do break down a little bit. So you want to tear them a little bit bigger because they do break. And when you're stirring it around a little bit, but be gentle with it. And then we're going to add a little bit more just to be safe. A little soy sauce, just make sure it's all evenly coated. Okay, and we're going to stir it around a little bit more. Now then, we've got it stirred around. Now then, we're going to put, this is I think a quarter of a cup of cornstarch, and we just pour it on here, sprinkle it on. Okay. Now this helps make it crispy. So get that out of the way. We're going to stir it around again and get it all coated together. And this is going to, again, this makes it real crispy. And then we're going to bake it. But right now we're stirring it around. And we got it stirred around, all pretty well coated, pretty good. And then what we're going to do is dump it on this baking sheet, and we're going to try to separate it the best we can. And we're going to put it in the oven. The oven is already preheated at 425, and we're going to cook it probably 20-25 minutes on one side. And then we're going to flip it over and cook it another 20-25 minutes. And so that's what we're going to do right now. So we got it in the oven. We're going to put this in the oven, got it separated the best we can, just briefly. It ain't going to be perfect. And I'm going to put it in the oven now. And then we're going to, while it's cooking, we're going to come back and make our hoisin sauce. So y'all keep watching. Okay, now we're going to be making the hoisin sauce, or however you say it. I can't pronounce it, being southern redneck. But anyway, this is what it looks like if you bought it in a store. Now, a few weeks ago, my wife was cooking this particular dish and she ran out. So she went and found a recipe, and the recipe we're using now is like, throw that in the garbage can. I mean, there's no comparison between what we make and store-bought. You see, I'm cooking for y'all today. We're not using this, so we're gonna make our own. So here we've got a half a cup of soy sauce. It's already pre-measured. Okay. Now then, we're going to put in 4 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. Okay. And we're doing it in the same bowl right here for less dishes. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I use a bit heaping spoons because you see peanut butter gets in here and it's kind of hard to get out. So I'm just going to use another spoon and kind of just get this out a little bit. And I use the same spoon to stir with in a minute. Okay, so we'll get that taken care of. I'll put this over here. Okay, we're also going to use 2 tablespoons of agave nectar. Okay, so it's 2 tablespoons of agave nectar. That's 1, 2. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now we're going to use 4 tablespoons of rice, 4 teaspoons of rice vinegar. I use 2 tablespoons. We already got it messed up. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. That's 1, 2. Okay, so that's the rice vinegar we put in there. Get it out of the way. We're going to use, I'm going to make it simple. We're going to use the same, I don't like washing dishes that much. So I'm going to use, for this, this is toasted sesame oil. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Okay, that's 1 tablespoon. Okay, and then I'm going to use, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another measuring thing out. We're going to put in 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. That's 1 teaspoon. That's just plain old garlic powder. So just like that. Okay, and we're also going to add in 1 teaspoon, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. So just, there we go, about like that. Okay, and then 2 teaspoons of, I don't know how you pronounce this, it's miso paste. So we're going to put in 2 teaspoons. So that's 1. Whoop, it's stuck. We'll get it out. 1, 2. Okay, so we'll get it out of there. Well, it's stuck in there, so I'm going to get just a little bit more out of there like that. Now we're going to stir this all together. I'm going to use this spoon right here. We stir this all together. Now you got to stir it a little bit because that peanut butter is thick. So, but natural peanut butter breaks down a little easier than all the processed peanut butter. And so here we are, just stirring it. You just keep stirring it for a couple minutes and it will dissolve a little bit better. But you see what it looks like now. So we're going to do that, and when y'all return, we'll finish up the dish. Okay, here's the tofu cooked. You see, hopefully it didn't slide out. We like ours a little crunchier. We cooked it a little longer, but that's why we like it, because when you add the liquid to it, the hoisin sauce and everything, it's going to get soft again. But the chicken here, tofu, call it chicken, but tofu, has, by being frozen twice, it changes the texture of it. And you see all this little nook and cranny, it's going to absorb all of the sauce and everything so well. But we'll add that later on. So the pan is hot right now. We're going to add, this is a half of a white onion. Okay. Half of a white onion. Okay. This is about 3 to 5 diced up cloves of garlic. About 1 inch of ground ginger. And it's been sitting out for a while. We diced all this up while after we made the hoisin sauce and while the tofu was cooking. So we had time to do this. Now, also, we've got 1 Thai chili pepper. We got that out of our garden just a little while ago. We've been told they're extremely hot. We've not tried one yet. We're going to find out. So we're putting this in here, hoping it's not too hot, but we'll find out. So, okay. So we're going to stir this around. Keep it from sticking too bad. I'm not really adding any oil to this. Keep it stirred just for a second, just to get it started. Okay. When it starts sticking, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid to it. Just keeping it stirred real quick. And you smell that, oh, that ginger is smelling so good. With onions. Oh, I may start coughing here in a minute. Yeah, man, it smells good. Okay, now we're gonna add, my camera person's even coughing. It smells so good. So we're gonna add about a quarter of a cup of beer, not too much. Okay, so now that smells real good. You got the beer, you got the ginger, and the onions all cooking. Huh, that might be a new recipe right there now. Okay, so we're gonna add that. Okay, now on the prior video, or the earlier version of the video, we made the hoisin sauce. Okay, now then we're going to add to this, it's just one ingredient, we're going to add a quarter of a beer to the hoisin sauce. So I'm just going, just roughly, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, that's about a quarter of a cup. Okay, and also, you know, on the show, if we're cooking, we're drinking, so have a little bit of Yingling beer. Okay, we're also going to add to this 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. Okay, now don't confuse this with making the hoisin sauce. We're adding 2 more tablespoons. Let's get it in here. It'll come out. So we're going to, there we go. That's 1 and 2. Okay, we're also going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Oh, sorry, 1 tablespoon, okay? 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Okay. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons, a teaspoon here, of cornstarch. Okay, so we'll get some cornstarch and got music playing behind us. So that's 1, 2. Okay, and I'm not sure. We're gonna add a teaspoon of that. I'm not sure how much we're supposed to add. We'll add a teaspoon of this. And there we go. That's just toasted sesame oil, So we're going to stir this all together. They say whisk it, but we don't have a whisk right here. So we're just going to stir it around. So stir that around real good. Let me stir this a little bit so it doesn't stick. Okay, that's looking really good. It's browning up really good. Okay. Now then, we stir this a little bit more, get it all. Okay. Now then, we're going to add our vegetables. Okay. And what we did is that you can put broccoli, you can put any kind of vegetable, but we looked in our refrigerator, saw things that were need to be eaten. And we're also adding some other stuff that's frozen. We're going to add some sugar snap peas. I'm not going to add the whole bag because we got a lot of it. We got a lot of stuff right now. So I'm putting about half a bag of that. Okay, that's about half a bag. Now then, I'm going to add. This was a very, very, very large bell pepper. So we're going to add about a half of the bell pepper, so a very large one. Okay, put that in there. This was 1 carrot. And I'm just trying to show y'all as we go along. And then we had, this was probably about 4 or 5 mushrooms. And then we had 1 squash, yellow squash. And we had 1 zucchini. So we got a lot of different vegetables in here. And we let that simmer for a few minutes. Okay, and to help it out, I'm going to add a little bit more beer because it helps it steam it. We're going to let it cook for a couple minutes and stir that around so it does not stick. Okay, we let it cook for a few minutes and we're going to cut right here because it takes a few minutes for this to cook, and I want it to brown a little bit first, and then we can come back and put the top on it and let it cook. Okay. Okay, the vegetables have been cooking about 15 minutes covered, and they're steamed really well. Now then, I'm going to go back and add a little bit of black pepper. Okay, and then I'm going to sprinkle it a little bit of salt. I don't like too much salt. The soy sauce has a lot of sodium in there and miso paste, so put just a little bit of salt in there. Okay, now the tofu we cooked earlier is over here. I'm going to add it to the frying pan, but before I do, I wanted to show y'all, if y'all can see it very well, how pretty is that? You got the green, the orange, the yellow. It's just really, really pretty. So, and when I was doing the parchment paper, I didn't do a very good job tearing it. So we're going to put it in there like this. Throw that piece away. And we're going to dump the rest of it in here. And hopefully the pan is big enough to see. Doesn't that look like chicken? Popcorn chicken? How pretty is that? Okay. Throw that away. And we're going to stir it around just a little bit. So everything gets coated. Now, we're going to, if y'all can see that, now just how pretty is that? Okay. Now then we're going to add the hoisin sauce. Now, I want to talk to y'all about something for a minute. Okay, we added peanut butter to this. If you are allergic to peanut butter, you can use, maybe if you take almond butter or sunflower seed butter. I mean, everything's adjustable for your health, for your taste. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pour this over the vegetables and the tofu. Okay, just like that. So get all this out of there. Okay, again, we're going to stir it around, get it all blended together. And when I was doing this, I left a little bit of beer in the bottom that was, the vegetables were cooking in. It hadn't all cooked out yet. But the beer and the hoisin sauce mixture, this can be so good together. So I'm going to let this cook for a couple minutes. And I'm fixing to add the toasted cashews. Now these cashews were cooked prior to this. They were put in the freezer. So we're going to add the toasted cashews. Again, these are already cooked. This is a staple at our house. We'll cook a good big cookie sheet and have them in the freezer when we need them. And this is a good time for it. So we just put them in there like this. And again, if you're allergic to nuts, hey, don't put them in there. But you probably wouldn't want cashew if you're allergic to it. But, and I think the cashews really make it so good. We can put this in there. Make sure it's all coated really well. If y'all see, if the sauce here is thickening up really good. So we're going to stir that around. And, okay, again, that's going to simmer for just a minute or two. If everything's already hot, well, most things are already hot, already cooked. So while that's cooking, I'm going to get a plate. While this is all cooking, we also cooked some rice. And I'm going to get some rice on the plate, put this over the rice. So, and I do need a fork. So I'm going to get a little bit of rice now. Okay, I got just a little bit to try just to show y'all. It's not supper time yet, so we can cook, eat supper in a little bit. But I just want to show you what it looks like and how you serve it. So you see you got tofu there, you've got a green bean, you've got one cashew, and let's see what it tastes like. Okay. That's excellent. If y'all serve this to your guests, they'll be like our guests. Where's the chicken? It's so tasty. Where's the chicken? Uh, how can you be vegan serving me chicken? But really it's tofu. So anyway, they're going to be asking you all kind of questions about it. So y'all enjoy. I'm the Almost Tipsy Vegan.